Can you please confirm? Can you see my screen and can you hear me well? Okay. The next important topic here is called key pair. What is that? Key pair. What's that key pair? So, what is this key pair? Before I go a little bit deeper there, let me give a real-time example. Let's take an EC2 instance. This is the EC2 instance. EC2. So you can take either Windows or you can take either Linux also. Okay. So if I want to log into this EC2 instance, what are the things required to you guys? What are the things that required if you want to log into the EC2 instance? What are the things that required? Yes. So you need IP address, you need credentials, that means username and then password. Correct? We need these three. If we have these three things, we can log into the EC2 instance. Very good. So this IP address, who will provide the IP address? Guys, remember, IP address will be provided by AWS. IP address is provided by AWS. And how about username? So guys, for Windows, the default username is administrator. Right down. The default username is administrator. The default name is administrator. So whenever you are logging into the EC2 instance, Windows EC2 instance, so your default username is always administrator. And password. From where do you get this password? This you will get it from the key pair. You will get it through key pair. So can we say that now? Okay, let me go. Let me put for Linux also. For Linux, default username is EC2 minus user. Write down everyone. EC2 minus user or Ubuntu. For Ubuntu machines, it is Ubuntu. For all Red Hat, CentOS and all Amazon machines, all EC2 minus user. So mostly remember EC2 minus user. Okay. So these are the default usernames. But how about the password? Guys, password, you can retrieve it from this key pair. So key pair is used to retrieve the password of EC2 instance. Right? I'll tell you slowly, don't worry. So key pair is used, for now you just remember, key pair is used for what? Key pair is used to retrieve the password of EC2 instance. I'll write this first and try to explain. So key pair is used to retrieve the password of EC2 instance. If someone asks what is key pair, then you can say key pair is used to retrieve the password of the EC2 instance. Guys, sometimes there will be few default things. See, remember, do we have a default VPC? Yes, like that there are few defaults will be available. But remember, does the AWS will give you a default key pair? No, we don't have any key pair by default. We have to create it by ourselves. Do we have a default key pairs, guys? No, we don't have any key pair by default, right? We have to create it by ourselves. So we have to create it by ourselves, guys. So when you create this key pair, we have to create a key pair. When you create a key pair, that key pair is also called as file. What is that called, guys? Write down PEM file, PEM file. This key pair is also called it as PEM file. Why? Key pair extension is .pem. Whenever you create a key pair, the key pair will get created, and the key pair extension is .pem. That's why we call it as PEM file. Getting it? So you need to go ahead and in the AWS EC2 console, there will be a place where you can create a key pair. So you create a key pair. When you create a key pair, that you need that key pair will get downloaded onto your machine, guys. And what is that file name called? You give some name, blah blah blah, and the extension is .pem. Right? So when do you use this key pair? So when you are launching the EC2 instance, guys, how many steps are there to launch an EC2 instance? 7 steps are there, but now they have clubbed. But so your 7 steps are there. When you launch an EC2 instance, at the end of the launching the EC2 instance, right? First step is you need to select an AMI. Second step is something. Third step you do configuration. Fourth step you select the volumes. Fifth step is you select the tags, etc., etc. Like this, you have 7 steps. And after the 7th step, when you are going to launch an EC2 instance, AWS will ask, hey, attach one key pair to this EC2 instance. If there is no key pair, create and attach a key pair to the EC2 instance. Why? Guys, after the EC2 instance got launched, using that PEM file that we have attached, we can retrieve the password of EC2 instance. So basically what will happen, whenever you create a key pair, that key pair is a private key for us. That meaning our PEM file is a public key or private key? Which one is? The PEM file is what key? It's a private key. Who has the public key? AWS has the public key. So the combination of this public and private key is nothing but this PEM file. So you have launched EC2 instance, and then you create a PEM file and attach to the EC2 instance. And if you want to retrieve the password, there is an option in in the console. You select that Windows machine, and there is an option called Get Windows Password. And if you click on it, it will ask, hey, give me the PEM file that you have attached to the EC2 instance. You have the PEM file with you, not downloaded, the private key. You give that private key. If that matches with the public key of AWS, then it will give the password on the console itself. You take the password. So that is the use of the key pair. You getting it? You getting it, guys? Right? So whenever we launch the EC2 instance, I'll write it for you. The console will ask you to create and attach a key pair to the EC2 instance. This is what we have learned, no? So console will ask for that. Can we create multiple key pairs? You can create multiple key pairs. You can create multiple. Okay, let me visualize you. Let's say, for example, let's say what? Let's say we have 4 EC2 instances. Okay. Okay, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 EC2 instance, guys. Let's say this EC2 instance is used by DevOps. The second one is also used by DevOps people, and third one is used by developer, and fourth one is also used by developer. Okay. Now in this case, tell me how many PEM files is recommended to create for this? You are saying for each EC2 instance, you need one PEM file. Huh? So let's say, for example, I have 100 EC2 instance. That meaning you will create 100 PEM files? No. Correct? So it is also not good to have only one PEM file. It is also not good to have only one PEM file. Guys, because this DevOps EC2 instance different and developers are different. Let's say, guys, in order to retrieve the password, DevOps people can also retrieve developers password, and developers password can also retrieve by DevOps people. Is that good? No. And also it's not good. And also if you have only one PEM file, what if that PEM file is lost? You cannot regenerate it. Once the PEM file is lost, it's gone. I'll tell you the scenario for that, don't worry. But is it recommended, guys, to have only one key pair for all your machines? No. And also it is not recommended to have each and every, for every EC2 instance, one PEM file. No, that is also not recommended. Guys, you can group it. So for DevOps, I can create a separate PEM file called devops.pem file, correct? And for developers, I'll create developer.pem file. Yes, guys, understood? So this DevOps PEM file, I'll attach it to this too. So by this, do you understand one PEM file can be attached to multiple EC2 instances? Yes. Do you see this? So we have the customers. That meaning we have the people here. Those who want to log into the EC2 instance, they need the IP address, username. Username they know, IP address they know. Password, how do they get? If they have this DevOps.pem file with the guy, right? With you, you can provide that PEM file, and then AWS EC2 console will give the password of this EC2 instance. Okay, guys, tell me, the password will be the same for all the EC2 instances? Answer is no. So guys, the yoga style password will be there, and that is different for each and every EC2 instance. Okay, I am retrieving the password of the first EC2 instance, and this is the password. Second time also I'm retrieving the password of the same EC2 instance. The password will remain same or different? Yes, it remains same. Guys, it remains same. How come the password will change? For your laptop, you have put one password that will keep on changing every time. No. The password is same. If you're retrieving the password of the same EC2 instance, password is same. But if you're retrieving the password of the other EC2 instance, it is different. But if you're retrieving the same password of this EC2 multiple times, it is same. So every EC2 instance have its own password. It doesn't change. So now I'm retrieving, guys. So now I want to have the password of this second EC2 instance. If I give the PEM file of developer.pem file, does it give the EC2 instance will give the password to me? It says that the key is not valid. Like this, you can restrict it. Like this, you can restrict it. Getting it, guys? PEM file. So the problem here is the users will be there, no? Here we have users. Here we have users. How do they retrieve the password? They should have the PEM file with, no? Yes or no? Guys, They should have the PEM file with them. If they have the PEM file, they will be logging as administrator. That means they have the full access to the EC2 instance. Yes, correct. But is this the right way to provide the PEM file to the users? But there is no way. If they want to retrieve, so or you admin, you keep it with you. Admin, you don't share to the users. The PEM files will be the admin with the admin. These users, whenever they want to log into the EC2 instance, they always come to you saying that, hey, can you give me the password of this EC2 instance? Guys, admin will get fed up with so many EC2 instance password people are asking for it. Correct? Make sense? How do you solve this mystery? Hold on it, right? Till that I'll try to write all the steps. So do you all understood the concept of key pair? So here, one key pair can be attached to multiple EC2 instances at the same time. Okay, possible. EC2 instance can have how many key pairs attached? Only one key pair attached at any point. Only one key pair. So every EC2 instance, the password is unique. Yes. For every EC2 instance, the password is unique or different. Okay. So guys, once the PEM file you have attached it to the EC2 instance, can you change it later? You cannot. Once the PEM file is attached, you cannot change the PEM file to the EC2 instance. No. So someone has stolen you lost the PEM file and someone, the PEM file, let's say for example, some other people have stolen your PEM file. So it's gone. They can log into their machines. Yes. So keep the PEM file safe and secure it. Okay. Don't give any option like, okay, you lost it, someone has taken it, someone has stolen it, or if it is gone, then it's very difficult. So every time you retrieve the password using PEM file, the password is same or different? You will get the same password from the EC2 instance. So all in all, can I say that key pair is the combination of key pair is the combination of public and private keys? Public key plus private key. Which one is a private key? Who has public key, guys? AWS has public key. Customer has private key. What is that private key meaning? Private key is not but our PEM file. Make sense? Understood, guys? Any questions still here? Babu, don't get access keys here. Access keys, key pair, both are different, no? Access keys are just used to access the console. This one to access your EC2 instances, the machines. Okay. Kitty, is this clear till here, everyone? CC. The question went up. Or are all the users log into EC2 should have administrator crews only, or can be different? I'll come to that point. By the way, why all people has to log into the EC2 instance? Is it like a remote server or what? So this EC2 instance is mostly like it's not like a terminal server where 10 people can log in at the same time. No, right? Whenever there is a work, people will log into it. Correct? There is question. If you have PEM file, we can retrieve the password multiple types. What is that? If you have PEM file, we can retrieve the password multiple types. Multiple times, you mean? If you have a PEM file, we can retrieve the obviously. Whichever, yes, obviously. Okay. So users are using the private key and admin can use the public key to log into. No. Who has public key? AWS has. Then why do we have? Abhilash, we don't have public key at all. Those who has the PEM file, he will be the admin. That's it. You can give that PEM file to users, they will become admin. Or if you don't want to give the PEM file to the users, you will keep it and you give the password to them. Whatever it is, administrator is the username. There's no limit. You can generate key pair. But what is the use of generating multiple key pairs? You can create multiple key pairs, but the thing is, based on the requirement, you generate it. When a PEM file is same for multiple EC2 instance, then the password generated is same for all. Shobha, I wrote it multiple times. I put it here also. If you have, see, Shobha, for you, when the PEM file is same for multiple EC2 instances, the password will be the same. Do you see these two junk passwords here? Password will not be the same. It will be different. Password is EC2 instance specific. And this is the key. PEM file is like a door, or key. But if you go open it, people will be different. To launch EC2, there are several steps. However, we give everything like ID, password, and all. So what is the need of care? Who said that? Why you're assuming? When you're launching the EC2 instance, why do we give password, ID, and all? Srikanth, did I say that? Did we learn that? While launching the EC2 instance, we'll give the username, password, and all. Then why you're assuming? Srikanth? No. Answer is no. But Shobha, for every EC2 instance, the password is unique or different. Yes or no? Okay, now tell me, for this first EC2 instance, the password is this. For second EC2 instance, the password is this. Can you tell me how good it will be if you have the same password for all the EC2 instances? It's a big security breach, no? Yes or no? So there is no way that you can have the same password for multiple EC2 instances. That's the reason why I said for every EC2 instance, the password is unique or different. But guys, simple guys, you have you are going to your home, no, your flat. You'll have the key with you. Will you use the same key or will you have a different key every day? Same key, no? Here also, when you're login to the EC2 instance, how can the password will change every time? The password will be the same. But for different EC2 instance, there will be a different password. But if you are going to the same your home and you're opening the same lock, right, it'll be the same. Correct. That is what I wrote it. No, here all the things, Shobha. Maybe you understood a little bit late, but yeah, finally you understood. That's good. Okay, so this here Windows EC2 instance. For Windows EC2 instance, what is the default username? Yes, administrator. Okay, and how do you retrieve the password? PEM file. Okay, and what is the protocol that you use? Right, what is the protocol to use? RDP. What is the protocol to use, guys? RDP, remote desktop protocol. Right, so every machine, every laptops will have like this. This is the remote desktop connection, right? It uses this protocol called remote desktop protocol. For Windows EC2 instances, we will be using this client, remote desktop client. And what is the protocol that you use in the backend? It is RDP. So what is the port number for this? Write down 3389. So 3389 is the port number for RDP. So for Windows EC2 instance, you need RDP with the port number 3389 to log in. Same as for Linux. For Linux EC2 instance, what is the default username? EC2 minus user, and password you will get it from PEM file, correct? And what is the protocol? What is the protocol to use? SSH. What is the port number? 22. Okay. For Windows, use remote desktop protocol client. I just showed you, no? Remote desktop, that's why I call sugar. Right? For Windows, use remote desktop protocol client. Okay. Coming for Linux, right? For Linux, guys, what is the tool that we should use? So you should use a tool called Putty. What is that, guys? Putty. So Putty is a very, so Putty will be like this. Putty is a like this, very lightweighted client, right? This is Putty. So to connect to the Linux EC2 instance, you need to use that Putty. But Putty has one very bad habit. Putty doesn't support PEM file. Putty doesn't take PEM file. But without PEM file, can you log into the EC2 instance? No. For that reason, what we need to do, we need to convert this PEM file to PPK file. Okay. You need to convert this PEM to PPK. How to convert from this to this, we will learn in the practicals in the lab. Okay. So there is something called key generator, or you have something called PuttyGen. So using this small tool, you can generate, you can convert this PEM file to PPK. This is only one time, right? One time generation. So you can keep this PPK and then log into the Linux machines. So for Windows, it is remote desktop protocol client that I showed you, this one, right? For Linux, it is Putty, this one. Don't worry, we'll take it later, like in the labs. But here, as a theoretical, logical, you need to understand these points. Is this clear, guys? Everyone till here on the key pairs? Any question? Oh, Oxford people, so many Oxford. Thank you. Okay, now the question here is, guys, is it recommended to give this PEM file which has the admin privileges to the users? No, no, correct. And then how does the users will be logging into the EC2 instance without the PEM file? Every time that you do you like every time asking the admin to give the password? No. Then how? And if you lost, and another word, guys, and you have 100 machines, and you have only one key pair or two key pair or three key pair. Let's say, for example, your hard disk crash, all your PEM file is gone. Can you log into the EC2 instances? Then how to do in that dangerous situation? So actually, no one will tell this, but there is no bubble, there is no master key, duplicate key, no keys. So what happen if all your keys are gone? There is only one PEM file, keys meaning PEM file. So as you know, right, we go a little bit beyond. So do you want me to explain those, how to handle the situation? Okay, this is for you guys. So consider those are all EC2 instances. Okay, these are all EC2 instances which are used by different EC2 which are used by this is by DevOps. Huh? So let's take randomly. I'll go ahead and put it. Okay, and these are used by this also EC2 instance, and this also used by let's say developers. Developers. Okay. And the third one is it and which team? Let's take QA, quality. This. So how many teams? So we have different teams at the moment. For example, 3 teams are there. The people are using this different. Okay. Okay. Good. I don't have time to put more things, but yeah, that's fine. So now we have 3 different teams which are accessed in our environment. We have so many EC2 instances are there which are accessed by 3 different teams. As per the logic, how many PEM files that you should create for this requirement? Very good. So you have devops.pem file, and you should go with dev.pem file, and you should go with qa.pem file. Correct? So this one, you go and attach it to this DevOps EC2 instances, and this guy to this guy to this. This meaning for all EC2 instances. Okay. So let's imagine DevOps has let's say 10 EC2 instances. 10 EC2 are there, and then this developers has 10 EC2 instances and QA has 10. Okay, so now we have 10 EC2 instances, guys. Do you recommend to share the PEM files to the users? Don't share PEM to the users. You don't share it. If you don't share it, so that meaning obviously they should come to you only, no, to ask for the password. So that also you don't need. And that too, how many users can log into this EC2 instance at the same time? Because lady, that is Windows machine. Yeah, for Windows machine, how many? 2 members maximum, right? And then the password should be the same for these two people, administrator and then that PEM file password. No. So how to handle this situation? For this situation only, guys, we have already learned this, but I'm reminding you. Do you remember we learned about Active Directory? Yes. That is the Active Directory, that concept that we should get it here. So what is this Active Directory called in AWS? With the directory services. So using this directory services, what we can do is instead of using this PEM file, forget about the PEM file. The PEM file will be with only the admin because the PEM file has admin username and password. So for the users, guys, if you want to set up the Active Directory, first of all, you need to have a domain, no? Let's say the domain name is boom.com. So can I create the users here? A user1 boom.com, right? @boom.com. I'm creating users, guys. B at the rate, C at the rate, the users. Okay. These are all the users. So I create the user. What are these users called? Remember? We call them as domain users. So instead of so I'll be creating the users commonly here in this Active Directory. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll join all these EC2 instances to this domain. I'll join all these EC2 instances to this domain. Yes, I'll add all this, right? What is this word called? Join. What is the word we will use? Join to domain. Join to domain or join to directory because we have AWS, no? Join to domain or join to directory. So once all these EC2 instances are joined to this domain, so can I now log into this EC2 instance with a@boom.com? Yes. So now a@boom.com, they can log into this EC2 instance with his own username and password. Correct? Everyone have their own username and password. Correct? In this case, do I need to share the PEM file anymore with these users? No. So to remove that concept, you can implement this Active Directory system to your entire environment. Now, make sense, guys? Understood? This is the advanced topics. So only admins will have the PEM file. So if just in case if need to have a administrator access, then they will contact the admin once in a while and he'll give the password. So if you have AD, you no need to provide PEM to all users. You no need to provide PEM to all users. No, for both. So if the EC2 instance joins the AD, right? User can log into the EC2 instance with their own domain username and password. Guys, understood? Babu, IAM, Suhas, IAM users can be, you can, why? No, not good. I've, guys, this is AWS. To access AWS console city, we need IAM user city. And we have EC2 instance inside it. EC2 instance will have his own username and password city. Can you log into this EC2 instance with IAM user? What is it city? Come on. Yes or no? IAM user is only used to access AWS console, nothing else. Okay? Don't get that here. Okay? Srikant, you are not feeling this is real time? Babu, whatever I talk, everything is real time. Only one time, real time. Okay, let me ask. Experienced people, can we back me up, please? Need to hear from you guys because you are on the system already. Whatever you are talking, everything, are you doing in the real time? 100% yes, man. Yeah. See, one people, two people can say that. Or most of the experienced people are replying, right? So this is all real time only. Don't even get that in your mind. Okay. Yeah. It's not sync, Raj. We have added this all the EC2 instance to the domain. No, that's a, so instead of you are calling this piece as sync, it is not sync. Instead of sync, you should call it as join to domain. If the EC2 instance are joined to the domain, the EC2 instance will know a@boom.com because it's already joined to the domain. Yes. You can call it as, in your normal scenario, you call it as add to the domain, adding to the domain, or in AWS, you call it as join to the domain. This a@boom.com is nothing but LDAP users only. Lightweight active directory protocol. So domain users, this protocol is nothing but LDAP. How PEM file and active directory are related? Guys, PEM file and active directory both are related at all? Yes or no? What is your take? There is no relation at all. PEM file is to retrieve the password of the EC2 instance, and that is the problem. Where? That is the problem. No, that's what we have learned the problems here, and then I gave the solution as Active Directory. Yes, there should be Prasanna. There should be Active Directory sync is there. From your on-premises Active Directory, you can connect. Yes. Who manages domain username password and this password use manage admin manage? Admin, that means you only. You are an sysop admin, AWS engineer, right? You should be doing all these things. Okay. Should I move on to the next topic? All good? Yeah, this is only one-time activity. AD practicals take $350 to $400. सिराज भाई सेपरेट पे करो मैं बताऊंगा तुझे okay okay so AD is a bloody big ocean. Okay, AD is a big ocean. So there is a separate big teams itself to handle the Active Directory itself. Okay. Yeah. Good. So guys, there is a small concept here. So let's please listen. So cluster networking instances. What is that? Everyone write down. Cluster networking instances. So generally, what is this? What is cluster meaning? What is the meaning of cluster? Cluster. What does it mean? Yes. Cluster meaning we say the group of servers. So why do we make the group first of all? What is the need of having a group of servers? So guys, let's say for example, in your college days, right? Yeah, if someone, okay, like in that, like I should not tell this, but yeah, right? Someone teasing your, like in some girls, will you go alone to handle the big group? No, right? So what do we do? So we go with the group. We'll go with the gang. So going with one person, the performance is different, and going with the gang, with the group, the performance impact is different. Correct? Yeah, scalability happens. Correct. So here also, why do we group the servers? In order to increase the performance. Correct. Here also same. Cluster meaning group of servers. Instead of calling group of servers, we call it as group of instances. Yes. So guys, this gang, this group is called placement group. What is that called? Write down. Important. Placement group. Placement group. Placement group. So guys, instead of one server giving the performance, how would it be if you group the servers and the performance will be higher or less? Performance will be even more. It's high. Correct? That's the reason why we group it. So tell me, so guys, whenever you launch a new EC2 instance, can you tell me, guys, all your EC2 instance in the backend will go and sit on one single host in the backend? No. So when you launch the EC2 instance, what will happen is the EC2 service will place the instances in such a way that all your instances are spread across different hardwares. Agree? I'll write that. When you launch a new EC2 instance, the EC2 service will place the instance in such a way that all your instances are spread out across different hardwares. Agree, guys? Yes. But I want this EC2 instance should be in the same rack, same availability zone. Let's say I have the EC2 instance. Okay. See, those are very big. Let's take, okay, EU. Okay, whatever. So these are EC2 instances. EC2, 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 EC2. So this is AWS. Okay. So guys, what you're doing is you're keeping the EC2 instance in the same rack. Guys, whenever you are keeping all the EC2 instances in the same rack, in the same availability zone, not even different availability zone, in the same availability zone, all in 1A, right? In the same rack, that too same rack, guys. So what is the performance? Performance is higher or what? Yes, it's too much high performance. Correct? So you know the speed between these the speed 20 Gbps. The speed between these two EC2 instances, between these EC2 instances are 20 Gbps. Just imagine. Our internet itself in our home is how much Gbps that you have, how many Mbps that you have? 20 or 30, 100 maximum, right? But here it is 20 Gbps, the speed. So guys, like this, you can group it in order to have the higher performance. So here, the placement groups mainly classified into three types. We call it as cluster placement group, right? Spread placement group. And finally, you have partition placement group. Write down, guys. Cluster, spread, and partition. So cluster meaning grouping the instances in same or single availability zone, same rack. Grouping the instances in the same or single availability zone in the same rack. Guys, if you have it in single rack, what is the performance? You will get high performance, correct? What happened if the entire rack goes down? Padak. So you will have little bit low high availability, correct? But that will happen because that is handled by AWS in the backend, right? But just in case, you will have a low high availability. What is the spread placement group? Right, the instances, EC2 instances are spread across availability zones. You are grouping the EC2 instances across availability zones, guys. So now you tell me, I have very critical applications that should never go down. Will you choose cluster or spread? Excellent. So you have a high availability here, right? And you can use it for critical applications. Do you understand how you can use it? So if you want, doesn't matter about your criticality, but you need to have super high performance, go for cluster. And if you're worried about critical applications that should never go down, go for spread, right? But the problem here is in spread, per one availability zone, you can have maximum 7 instances. How many instances you can have per availability zone? Maximum 7. So 7, 7, 7, you can group it. But if you need more, then go for partition, which is this also across availability zones. So you can partition, guys, like, so maximum partition, you can go as 7 here. So what you can do is here, you can create, the partitions will be like this, 1, 2, 3, like this, you can 3, 4, like this, maximum you can have 7. So in each partitions, you can have EC2 instances, hundreds of EC2 instances you can have. You can have hundreds of EC2 instances. Guys, you can have hundreds of EC2 instances. But the problem here is there is also risk. What if the partition goes down, all your 100 EC2 instances are gone? Right? That's a problem here. So based on your requirement, you can choose it. So here, one partition can contains hundreds of EC2 instances. Right? Okay. So if you want to have more EC2 instances in different hardwares, right, then go for this partition placement group. So guys, based on the requirement, you can go. Okay. Understood? So, and then here one certification question, guys. These placement groups recommend to have same instance type or different instance type? In your gang, is it good to have one first class student, one 10th class student, and one diff. Oh, really? You want to have different? Okay, can you tell me when in your group, is it good to have one T2 micro, one T2 large, one T2 small, one T2 X large? Is that good to have? No. Placement groups recommend to have same, that meaning homogeneous instance type. So it is good to have same instance type, but not different, okay? So that you have consistent performance. Right? Understood? So you can create a placement group and you can keep on adding the EC2 whenever. So you will have an option, guys, like when you are launching the EC2 instance, when you're launching the EC2 instance, you can select which placement group you want to keep. So you can create guys, this placement group completely handled by AWS in the backend. So what you need to do is you create a placement group, cluster, spread, partition, and bus khatam. When you're launching the EC2 instance, select the cluster. That's it. So how many EC2 instances you can have in cluster? Many, right? In spread, you can have one per one availability zone. You can have 7 EC2 instances. Coming to the partition, you can have maximum. How many partitions you can have maximum? 7 partitions, right? And each partition, you can go ahead and launch multiple EC2 instances in the single partition. But the only problem here is, so what happens if that complete partition goes down? Your machines will also go down. So generally, people go with the cluster and spread. But at least in my career, I have not used this cluster network instances. There will be very rare scenarios that you should use this case. Got it, guys? Everyone understood? On cluster networking instances, partition meaning sort of group, you're partitioning. So partitioning will be happening in the backend of AWS Khan. So from our side, we'll just need to launch an EC2 instance and put it in the partition. Let's say partition 1, you can give the name 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like this. Okay. Okay. Super. Moving is not possible. No. Once you cannot move. Cluster and spread. Yes, you can think it of. That's why I'm saying, cluster and spread, Madhavi. So take the screenshot. With all these learnings, you can kick the interviews and the certifications like anything. I'm telling you. You are learning so many things, guys. Be proud. All the concept what I'm teaching you, people will cover in single lines or 2, 3 lines. Keeper, they'll say only the first line. It is used to retrieve the password. But we went bloody very deeper into it, and all pros and cons, all permutation combinations we have chosen, all the logics, right? You should never forget the concepts. And followed by this. Super good. And next this. And tomorrow we have class. Okay. Tomorrow we have class. And tomorrow will be a very, very, very important topic. We'll talk on security. It's very, very important. Don't miss the class. Okay. Very good. And don't put more stress on this, Madhavi. It's little use. Okay. We'll talk more later. Great. Can you give the final CC? Super. That is all, guys, for today. And I'll see you tomorrow with the next topic. Until then, take care. Bye bye. Have a nice day and see you tomorrow.